Hi, my name is Catherine Hodges. I'm a sophomore at the University of South Carolina. Go Gamecocks. Let's see, I love sports, avid Gamecock football fan, and I also love art though, which is very different from most people. I have my sports friends and my art friends, but not too many who do both. So if I ever find a guy like that, I will definitely marry him. Let's see, I got into media when I was in high school. I was in Specialty Center for Mass Communications. One of the first things we did was print journalism, so we had to write articles all year, and most of my friends would just do, the stories about sex when you're a teen or starting drugs and whatever the newest music was, and they just interviewed their friends, whoever was at the cafeteria table at the time. But I wanted to do some stuff on special education because I have a brother with Down syndrome, and something that I think is very important and people our age don't know a lot about. So I did a lot of interviews with teachers and parents of students and people I didn't know at all, and it was scary, but I've had experience doing that already. So after that, later we had to do a documentary about 10 to 15 minutes, and I did my own Special Olympics, again for the same reasons. And with that, I had to do a lot of interviews with athletes who have mental disabilities, so that was definitely a challenge, but I think the documentary came out good and it was a great experience. I came to the University of South Carolina for media arts, and it's definitely a different major. A lot of other people are doing business and whatever, just to get a job, something. This summer I worked at a property management company as a receptionist, but also did filing and other stuff. But over 100 people worked there, so I had a ton of experience dealing with customers, answering the phone. And while I was there, everyone came to love me, of course, but they're trying to get me to come back this summer, and one of the property managers there was like, "Oh, so you're a media arts major?" And I was like, yeah, nothing to do with accounting or all the stuff y'all do, but my uncle works there, so I got a job. But he was trying to get me to come back for this summer. He's like, "Oh, well, you can be an intern." And I was like, "Well, it's not really my field at all." But he's like, "Oh, no, really, like, we get to do a lot of creative stuff. We go and talk to the people who own our, or are renting our buildings, and, like, stuff you'd probably like we have carpet samples that we can show them, different colors, and you get to help pick out decorating for their business." And I was just like, "Oh, okay, great." But really, like, I don't want to spend my life living in a cubicle and the most creative part of it being picking carpet samples. So this would just be such a great opportunity to do something different. My parents and my grandparents, no one's gone to college. I'm the first one, so I mean, they would be happy if I did a job like that, because I'm making, a decent amount of money, and just, I mean, it's something they couldn't do. You have to have a college education to do it, but still, it's just so boring, and I want to do something really creative and just that makes a difference and educational. So, I don't know, I feel like I've had experience doing it already, but I mean, I just don't have the resources. I don't know anyone who does this. I'm just from little county outside Richmond, Virginia, and with this opportunity, it would just be so great to get to meet people. And that's just probably one of my weaknesses, I feel like, is I don't have a lot of, I'm not cultured, I guess. I just haven't been around this country. I haven't experienced a lot because I haven't had the means to. So that's one way I think would be so great, is just to meet people from different areas and backgrounds and see how they made it and got out of their situation to do something they love and are just doing successfully. So other than that, my only other weaknesses, I would say, are that I'm a picky eater, and if we're stopping in New Mexico or somewhere, I don't like Mexican food, and I love country music, so if someone else is riding with me and they don't like country music, it could be a problem. But also, I drove a 92, what's it called? I drove a brown Aerostar van for the first 5 years of my life. Don't need it now in college, thankfully, but so I've had experience driving a giant ugly van, and that could be helpful. I guess that's all I'd have to say. It's been so hard to get this interview done. I've had no free time. I have a job and then classes and 2 roommates, so this was really the only time I could make it to myself, and I just didn't have time to really be creative at all, because this is due in like a couple hours. But I just hope you'll consider me. It's been really fun. Thanks. Bye.